Okay, I'm back, all of my subscribers. Um, some of the names of my story, I am having to come up with a new name just for legal purposes. So I hope y'all can follow me on this. But Wally is the name that I'm using for my father, and Rottweiler is the name that I'm using for his brother. Those aren't their real names, so we're just gonna keep it at that. But while all of the abuse was going on, Mom was having to go to work, all beat up, black eyes and everything. She still went to work like that. And we lived in a small trailer park, probably no more than 5 trailers at the most. And the landlord actually lived there on the trailer park property, and he would always tell us, tell my mom that she needs to keep a suitcase over there at his house because one day Wally was going to kill us one day if we didn't get the hell on, just go. So Mom did eventually put a suitcase over there at the landlord's house. Then there came a time that I had to go to the doctor, and mom knew that Wally was up there having sex with little girls. I'm talking about little girls. But she tried to just block that out and keep going. But the day I went to the doctor, that's when she found out that not only was I having cigarettes put out on me, but my hymen was broke. Wally had done broke my hymen. And if you don't know what that means, he had done had sexual fun with me. I was only 4 years old. So Mom knew then it was time to plan her escape plan. And it's so sad because our family lived up there on the mountain, Mom's side of the family, but a mother has to do what a mother has to do. So Mom finally got enough courage to pack the car full of everything that she could, went to the landlord's, got our suitcase, grabbed the shotgun out the trailer, and she gathered up every picture of me that she could. Now here's the crazy part. She knew that we were going to be very visible because of the car that she was driving. It had a big black hawk on the back of the trunk. So anyway, picture us driving, and we're having to pass all of the Cunningham's houses. Mom with one hand on the wheel, one hand on the shotgun, with me in the back seat. So we're driving. We finally made it off the mountain. The first buy here, pay here lot, she stopped at because she knew we had to get out that car, get out of it quick because we were going to be being looked for. So she sold the car for $200, and then she happened to remember, oh, excuse me, sir, I've got a shotgun in the car too. How much would you give me for the shotgun? And this guy told her only $10. And they gave us a ride to the airport in Alabama. We got to the airport, and there was people there at the airport that knew that we were in trouble. So they pulled us in the back of the airport, asked us what was going on, and Mom knew it was just a matter of time before Wally and his family found us. So they ended up putting us on Greyhound, and we ended up in Savannah, Georgia, in a battered women's shelter. We didn't stay there for long, and I'm going to tell y'all this. A lot of people don't know that just because you're living in a shelter doesn't mean it's you're living there for free. You've got to make your way if it's cooking, washing dishes, or actually paying to stay there. It's not free. So we only stayed in Savannah probably 3 months. Then we got on Greyhound, and we ended up in Atlanta. And we stayed in the Atlanta Greyhound station for a week until once again somebody knew something was wrong. So the manager pulled us in the back and asked what was going on because we had no idea of where to go from there. So we ended up getting sent to another shelter in Atlanta. And once again, Mom had to make her way. So she would cook on certain nights, clean, wash dishes there at the shelter. But money started running low. So the woman that was over the shelter told Mom that she was going to have to go find work. So she told Mom about this hospital, one of the biggest hospitals in Atlanta. She said, you need to go up there and put in an application because they're hiring. Keep in mind, Mom didn't know how to do anything but cook and wash dishes, so she went up there to apply for a job in the kitchen. But when she got there to Human Resources, she found out that they didn't have any jobs for that position. So she was getting ready to walk out and give up, but a woman had caught her before she got ready to walk out the building and said, excuse me, are you looking for a job? And Mom said, yes, I am. And they pretty much hired Mom right there on the spot at a desk job. So Mom got the job at Crawford Long Hospital here in Atlanta. And it was so much stuff that came in behind that. So let's just leave it there for today with Mom getting a job. You know what? I'm going to keep going. It's got kind of quiet out here now. Maybe I can keep talking. So once she got the job, Mom had no idea how to work a computer, but they taught her. And just to show you how far God has brought us, the hospital actually owned an apartment building. So what happened is they ended up moving us into the hospital apartment building, and the rent would come out of Mom's check every week. It was one of the greatest things that could have happened to us. And in the meantime, we were still getting word back from the mountain. We had people up there, that was guiding us all the way through. And next thing we know, it's a big street here in Atlanta called Peachtree Street, and that's where we were living at the time. Billboards started going up with my picture on it. Vans riding around with my picture on it saying missing. And Mom, it was time for me to start school, but Mom knew that she was going to have to keep me out another year because of, he could find me that way. So that's what she did. She kept me out another year. And then the following year that I went to school, the school allowed Mom to let me come in under a different name. I'll never forget my first day there at the school, sitting there at the breakfast in the cafeteria with a box of cereal and a milk carton with my face on it. That's when all hell broke loose. I got called to the office immediately. The principal called my mom up there to the school asking, what's going on? Does she need to report this? And Mom said, please don't. So I ended up having to be pulled out of school for another year. And then I ended up finding the right school for me. So I started school. In the meantime, Mom was being moved up to higher position after higher position on her job. I'm just going to tell y'all, Mom started off without not a high school diploma, but without a college degree. Mom started off as just charting patients, and by the time she left the hospital, she was a cardiologist. Mom met some of the biggest people like James Brown, Deion Sanders, Muhammad Ali, Grady from Sanford and Son. It's so many names. Darth Vader. It's so many people that I can name. She actually worked on those patients. So, anyway, Mom, she kept everything. Nobody knew our past. Nobody. And nobody knew where we were. Even the connects that she had back home on the mountain, nobody knew where we were. And, she kept all of this bundled up, by not telling anyone of what was going on with us. So in the meantime, Mom had met a man on her job named Bobby. He was security for the hospital. Bobby ended up being a great man, I'll tell you that. We lived there at the hospital apartment building for a couple of years, and once Mom met Bobby, He lived in a trailer too in Cobb County, so we ended up moving out there to the trailer with Bobby. And like I said, Mom never told anyone our past. Nobody. I want to speak on Bobby for a minute. Bobby was a great man. You know, I didn't know right from wrong. Too busy being on the run. Bobby sat me down at the table one day. I'll never forget, and he said, "You're going to learn some manners. You're going to learn how to say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir, and you're going to learn how to sit here at this table and chew with your mouth closed." And you know, at the time, I thought he was being bossy, but you know, I did it. I did it. And that right there, that yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir, you just don't know how far that'll bring you in life. It's brought me a long way. And I'm going to tell y'all, who's ever watching, always remember, respect will never go out of style. And I'll see y'all tomorrow.